Is tipping getting out of control? Could there possibly be sharks swimming in the ocean? Why did you not mention me? And where are the damn sprinkles? Welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode. And we are back, and we have some new cruise comments for you this week. Yeah, we're going to cover an array of subjects, an array of topics that people have written in and believe that they are absolutely correct. These changes need to be made to cruising. They need to be made right now. Trust me, they know what you want. They know what you need. They know what you demand. But we're going to read the comments and we're going to find out, are they right or are they wrong? So let's jump into today's show and let's find out. Now, first up today, we're going to talk about tipping. And I'm actually going to have to say that I 100% agree that the tipping culture that's been going on recently, it is completely out of control. Because no matter what you do, where you go, whether you do it yourself, whatever the case may be, they're always flipping around that screen wanting to know what you're going to tip for whatever you just did for yourself. It just seems like every single time that you pay for anything, purchase anything, they want to know if you want to tip. How much are you going to tip for what just occurred? So yeah, I can completely get where the tipping culture has gotten out of control. But today's comment, I don't know. I don't know if it's so much about tipping and the fact that they are required to tip or suggested to tip or asked to tip as it is, I don't know, maybe they knew somebody on board the ship and felt like there was some inequality. I don't know. Let's look at the comment and you guys can tell me what you think. I want to vent that the tipping on Carnival is out of control now. Why is the piano bar singer have a goldfish bowl on top of the piano? Why is he allowed to promote tipping after every song? Why are the classically trained violin players that perform in the celebration lobby not allowed to mention getting tips? Seems to be two tiers of rules there. The piano singer has a begging bowl, the other musicians do not. Why? Carnival needs to recalculate this. It is not just Carnival where the tip world is out of control. My last trip to Vegas, I went into a CVS drugstore for some naproxen and saw that the cashier had a jar for tips. How long will it be before we have to start tipping the dancers or the captain for getting the ship safely into port? I am serious about this. Stop the panhandling. Now, while I do agree tipping culture has gotten out of control, I don't think we're anywhere near the point where the captain is going to be standing near the gangway with a tip jar so you can tip him for safely getting you where you're supposed to be. But the bulk of this complaint seems to be that the piano bar has the bowl on top of the piano, and usually if you give a little tip, write a song, throw it in the bowl, whatever the case may be, he plays that song faster than he plays some others. That's pretty normal and standard in a piano bar. But they're upset that the classically trained violinists playing in the lobbies, they don't have a tip jar. They can't mention tipping. That's against the rules. So is this comment more about the fact of tipping, or is it about the fact that the violinists can't get tips or don't get tips or don't have a tip jar? Because see, you can go to the piano bar. You don't have to give them a tip. You don't have to put money in that jar to enjoy the piano bar. So I gotta ask, and you guys let me know in the comments below, is this more about the piano bar being able to get tips versus the violinist? Or is this more about the tipping culture, which I agree is out of control, but I'm not sure that's what this comment is totally about. Do sharks swim in the ocean? If I go swimming in the ocean, am I going to see a shark? Well, here's the truth. The sharks live in the ocean. If you swim in the ocean, there's a chance, even if it's a itty bitty one, that there could be a shark in the ocean. I mean, you are essentially swimming in their house. Now, according to Google, there's approximately 10 shark attacks per year in the United States, anywhere between 50 and 70 shark attacks per year worldwide. And I personally have swam in the ocean multiple times while cruising. I have not seen a shark yet. Doesn't mean I will never see a shark, but I haven't seen one yet. So chances are pretty low, but they're never zero. They're never impossible. And nobody can really guarantee that you won't see a shark unless they have a blocked off area for you to swim that has like that steel netting that would keep anything from coming into that area, which majority of the places cruise ships go don't have that. Then there is always the chance. And you would think that, hey, I'm swimming in their house, I can see one, would be fairly common knowledge, but apparently it's not. Have you seen sharks when cruising to the Caribbean? I mean, not from the boat, but in the sea where people go swimming and where people go snorkeling. Somebody told me that Celebration Key is in the same place where there are lots of sharks. I will be going there on conquest with my 2 children. Is it going to be safe to swim? Celebration Key is in the Bahamas. Is there a possibility of sharks? Absolutely, yes, there is. But there's always a possibility that you could see a shark. And that's not to scare you. That's not to frighten you. That's not to make you never want to swim in the ocean again. But you should have the knowledge beforehand of what could possibly happen, what you could possibly see if you go swimming in the ocean. So to answer the question, is it safe to swim? Yes, it is. You should be vigilant. You should be paying attention to your surroundings. You should be aware that there is always a possibility, and there's videos out there of sharks that have gotten close to the land before. And keep in mind, in a lot of these places, they're looking for it. They're watching for it. They're aware it could happen. They are paying attention to try to warn people ahead of time. But yeah, if you swim in the ocean, you're going to see some fish. You could see a shark. You're in their house. You got to remember that. Now, unfortunately, tragedy happens all around the world all the time. It does. Wish it didn't. Wish it wasn't something that people had to deal with, live with, deal with the consequences of, but it does happen. But before you write in a comment to the cruise line or to a representative of the cruise line about a tragedy that occurred, ask yourselves a couple of questions. Does this affect cruising? Did it happen at a cruise port, on a cruise ship, on a cruise excursion? Does it have something to do with the cruise company that you're writing into? If you are expecting a cruise line or a representative of the cruise line to know every single solid tragedy that happens all around the planet and mention it specifically for you, and they have nothing to do with cruising, why? Why even write in that comment? We've said it before. We've mentioned this before. This is just something you really need to stop doing. I am the mod of the Carnival Venzia Facebook page. Most of the 2,000 members are from New York. Some of us are getting onto the ship tomorrow for the 8-day cruise. There was a mass shooting in New York. I've seen that you've sent condolences, thoughts, and prayers when this has happened in other places in the United States of America where Carnival has an embarkation port. Such a tragic event with heartbreaking losses, including a dedicated police officer. My thoughts are with the victims' families and the New York City community during this difficult time. I would hope that you would echo these thoughts. Okay, now we know this was written to Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, John Hill, who does not live in the United States. He lives over in UK. So not every event that happens in America is on their news. There's also a big time difference between here and there. And while, yes, these types of things are tragic, this is a cruise company you are writing to. Why is a cruise company going to talk about things that are not related to cruising? And the one that really baffles me, so there was this tragic event that occurred, and your first thought, the very first thing you want to do is take time out of your day while this tragedy is occurring and has just occurred to write to a cruise company and say, why did you not think about me? That is your concern while this is going on. I'm sorry, if tragedy strikes me and my family, the last thought on my mind is writing to a cruise company. Not even remotely in the ballpark of where my thoughts and my mind is at. Yet apparently there's people out there that in the midst of tragedy say the very first thing I need to be doing is writing a cruise company that has nothing to do with this situation and let them know your thoughts and your prayers should be with me. Because that's clearly more important than being out there and taking care and supporting your own community. And finally, let's talk about ice cream on board cruise ships. Soft served ice cream. You know the one I'm talking about. You walk up to the soft serve machine. Some cases the cruise serve it. Get yourself a cone, hit that little handle, get yourself some vanilla, get yourself some chocolate, maybe a little bit of swirl, different flavors for different cruise lines. Disney Cruise Line has banana soft serve ice cream. It's pretty tasty. Just putting that one out there. And this is a popular snack item on board cruise ships. It's included in the price for the majority of cruise lines. And if you're up walking around on the deck, you will see people eating this ice cream. But of course, you know, if we are here and we are talking about it, somebody has written in a comment, somebody has a problem with soft serve ice cream on board cruise ships. It's not the way they want it. It's not the way they like it. And since that's the case, clearly nobody likes soft serve ice cream. Stop saying Carnival's ice cream, saying it's everyone's favorite. It is not my favorite, and I haven't seen anything but complaints about it. So obviously, it's not everybody's favorite. Why are there no sprinkles and toppings? Ice cream with no toppings is inexcusable. If it is money, then get rid of the cardboard tasting cones and use only dishes. Most people prefer a dish to a cone anyhow. So stop saying Carnival Cruise Line's ice cream is everybody's favorite because it is not this person's favorite. Fair enough, it's obviously not everybody's favorite, but they've seen nothing but complaints about it. And while it probably is not everybody's favorite, there are probably people out there who don't like it. I sure see an awful lot of people in line to get it, walking around eating it while on board a cruise ship. So I'm going to say, while everybody isn't the right word, I'm willing to bet it's pretty damn popular. But is the problem the soft serve ice cream, or is the problem that there are no sprinkles? There are no toppings, and no toppings for ice cream is just inexcusable. So I gotta ask, is the problem really with the ice cream, or is it the fact that they don't give you toppings for your ice cream? I mean, remember, we're talking soft serve in a cone. That's the majority of the way people eat it. There are people that put it in a bowl. There are people that put it in a dish. Maybe they don't like the cone. Maybe they're got a cookie in there or a brownie in that bowl. Put a little ice cream on top. There's probably a variety of reasons why people would use a bowl. But do we really need to get rid of the cones? Go to only bowls so this person can have toppings. I get why some toppings might be nice on different ice creams. I can completely get that. But look, this is free soft serve ice cream that there's constantly a line for. So are some toppings really, really necessary? You may want them, but are they really necessary for people to continue to enjoy free ice cream while you are out on a cruise? Because there are, depending on the cruise ship, the cruise line, there are places you can go and buy ice cream on the ship that does come with toppings and sprinkles and all kinds of things like that. But I don't think this person wants to pay for their sprinkles. They want the cruise line to provide them to them for free. And that is going to be our video for today. You guys let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you agree with these comments? Do you disagree? Are these people right? Are they wrong? Are they speaking for you? Do they know how you want to cruise? Are these changes that the cruise line must make to keep cruisers happy? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.